This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Friday, the 28th day of June in the year 2019. Here is what we're tracking tonight. Commissioner and Chief Executive Officer of the Guyana Lands and Surveys Commission, Trevor Ben, has called on those wishing to pin corruption claims against his name to put up or shut up, while making it clear that all land dealings under his watch have been above board. Mr. Ben called a press conference this morning in response to statements made by the opposition leader Barrett Jagdeo that there was land grabbing after the no-confidence motion by supporters and persons who work with the government. Ben rubbished those claims from the onset and said while he cannot swear for the personal integrity of all his staff members, he can defend himself against any corruption claim.
If you look at our Facebook page, I have begun to receive threats and people calling for me to be jailed based on statements that were made yesterday. And this is the kind of thing I spoke to a few months ago. People must be responsible in their statements. And if you don't have evidence, I'm calling on that person to put up or shut up.
Ben said Jagdeo was being dishonest with his claims. He said in two of the instances in which Jagdeo claimed that acres of land were leased to a former MP and another person affiliated with the government, the leases were actually ordered by the High Court, and the rulings for the land to be returned to the two persons were handed down way back in 1996 and 1997.
Muriel Allen acquired this portion of land in the 1980s. Under the previous government, the land was taken away from her. She went to court, and there is evidence in the file of a court order which instruct the government at the time to return the land to her. This is a copy of the court order for Muriel Allen. We also have in our record that this gentleman had two parcels of land, one of which was the 6,400 acres referred to by the gentleman. And on that score, again, that land was taken away from him by the last government. He took the government to court, and the court ordered that the land be restored to the gentleman. He should have unhindered access. That's what the court said to the land. And in both cases I refer to, ladies and gentlemen, the government refused to honor the court's order. We are a law-abiding commission, and we honor the court order. These two parties, in one case, the lease has been restored, and we are in the process of restoring the other lease in conformity with the court's order. By the way, this court order was 1997. So 1997 court order for the Member of Parliament, and Muriel Allen court order was 1996. 1996.
Ben said the commission under his watch has granted thousands of leases, and those leases cover Guyanese from all over the country, and not any particular group.
We inherited a situation where a number of people under the previous administration got land. No questions asked. We believe that as citizens, they're entitled. They applied and they got land. I believe the individual who spoke to you yesterday also has land, thousands of acres of land. And again, we will show you the evidence if you wish. Thousands of acres of land. The individual who spoke yesterday. Several of his former ministers and several high-ranking government officials. We have the list. I don't want to use this press conference to go in specifically to them, but we have their names and the information available.
According to the commissioner, when he took the job 3 years ago, proper records were not being kept at the commission, and it was left in shambles. He said he has been working overtime to change all of that.
We have inherited a situation where we know that we have 83,000 square miles, but we couldn't tell you where those lands are. And I believe there was a method to the madness. If you have no record-keeping system, you have nobody to account to. You cannot account for what you have. And I believe there was a method, there was a reason why this was the way it was.
Mr. Ben said there have been efforts by persons outside of the commission to corrupt some staff members. He pointed to the maps that Jagdeo displayed at his press conference, noting that none of those copies were legally obtained from the commission as there are no records of request or payment for them. Ben suspects that some staffers might have leaked the documents, and he said that they will be dealt with condignly. More news coming up in just a moment.
Hey, babe. Hello? Is Don Me quite just done?
Buddy, you need to switch to GTT Fab 5.
Fab 5?
Activate the GTT Fab 5 plan today. For only $5,005, you get free unlimited calls to 4 of your closest family and friends, 5 gigs of data plus 250 text messages, and your Fab 5 friends can call you for free. GTT Fab 5.
Oh, y'all like the switch? Wicked Fab 5!
Summer is just around the corner, and this year we're giving you a Visacation. It's easy. Get your GBTI Visa card and travel to your dream summer destinations or shop all you want online. With Visacation, you get to win prizes when you use your GBTI Visa card between June 1st and August 31st. Don't have a Visa card? Visit your nearest GBTI branch or go to www.gbtibank.com. GBTI, we see Guyana through your eyes.
Motor gasoline grades are determined by the octane rating of the fuel. The octane rating of a fuel is the standard measure of the performance of a motor gasoline. Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline is a high-octane premium gasoline. Fuel up and drive with Super 95 from Guy Oil.
Welcome back. Engineer and businessman Charles Series intends to take action against the opposition leader Bharat Jagdeo and Member of Parliament for the opposition Anil Nandlal over statements that sought to link him to allegations of land grabbing. The allegations have since been debunked by the Guyana Lands and Surveys Commission. Mr. Series, who is the owner and CEO of Ground Structures Engineering Consultants Inc., said he believes the opposition leader is attacking him because he's a wealthy and successful businessman who has stayed clear of the party that Jagdeo runs and what it stands for. Why do you think you were singled out?
Because I'm African Guyanese and I'm a successful African Guyanese. Let me tell you the problem that we have in Guyana, and we have to recognize these things as issues for all Guyanese. I came back to Guyana and I was told that African Guyanese don't run businesses. And you hear that all the time. I run a successful business. I have people who are working in the Gulf of Mexico. I have people working in Trinidad. I have people who are heading to Colombia to work. We are an international engineering company. You go to Suriname, the transmission line from Paranam to Paramab is our project. The fishing port on the river in Suriname is our project. Right? We've worked for Soralco. We're international. We don't need to work. We don't need to get involved with Barton's nonsense.
At his last press conference, Jagdeo claimed that the businessman has been granted leases for several large sets of land by the current administration. The businessman today said the leases that he had been approved for the Kanji area were all done under the PPP government. He has since relinquished a large lease, and the only one he currently has is for a plot of land in Lilienthal, where he has since built the headquarters for his company and is paying a lease price far higher than what others in the same area are paying.
No, I have no land in Bohemia. The only land I have from the government of Guyana is 4.5 acres in Lilienthal. I relinquished the others. You have all of the records there. I relinquished it in 2017. I plan to report on Nandlal because of his Facebook post, because it's against the Cybercrime Act in Guyana. And I'm speaking to an attorney to take legal against all of the newspapers who've published this, because it is all false. I would expect the press to at least validate these issues before they publish it. Right? I have a company. I work for international organizations. I don't work for the government of Guyana, even though people claim I'm an APN. I don't work for the government of Guyana. In fact, for this year, we have done one project for the government, which is about $6 million for the St. Rose's High School. We have done in excess of $200 million for other people, work for other people. Right?
Mr. Series said he believes that him being a successful Afro-Guyanese businessman is an issue for Jagdeo, but he noted that he is willing to present his source of income and wealth to be scrutinized once the opposition leader would do the same.
I'm not afraid of Bharat. I'm a Guyanese, right? I'm spending my money to educate young people in this country. Right? If you come to my office, All of my staff, except maybe 2 people, are younger than 40. I believe in the young people in this country. I did not come back. I'm not a dual citizen. I came back and I gave up a green card in 1993 when Guyana had pothole roads. Every building was painted white. I don't need to be validated like Barjack Dio, but I don't want him incorporating me into his nonsense. That's all I'm saying to him. If he wants to incorporate me, have his facts correct. And I'm giving you those facts today.
This is not the first time that a former president has been accused of race baiting or attacking Afro-Guyanese. He has faced private criminal charges before over racially sensitive language at a public meeting. Turning now to the world of business, the world's second largest stock market, Nasdaq, has named Guyana as the fastest growing economy in the world. In a report compiled for the stock exchange, it said that with a projected growth rate of 16.3% during the 4-year period 2018 to 2021, Guyana is the fastest growing economy in the world. According to the report, with a GDP size of $3.63 billion, a growth rate of 4.1% in 2018 and 4.6% in 2019, Guyana's economy is expected to grow by 33.5% and 22.9% in 2020 and 2021. The report added that with Guyana's per capita income of $5,194, the country is a middle-income country that has an abundance of resources. It also pointed to the ExxonMobil discoveries of oil in Guyana and the income that will come to the country when oil production begins next year. Exxon is expected to start producing up to 120,000 barrels of oil per day from the Liza Phase 1 development next year, and the country is projected to be among the world's largest per capita oil producers by 2025. Just recently, the International Monetary Fund heaped praises on Guyana for its economic growth and stability over the past few years. While the Guyana Oil Company has announced that its customers will feel less pressure at the pumps with a reduction in the price for gasoline and diesel. In a statement, the company said that with effect from today, the price for Super 95 gasoline has been reduced by $10 per liter, and the price for diesel has been reduced by $14 per liter. Gasoline will now be sold at retail price $214 per liter, while diesel will be sold at $203 per liter at all Guy Oil stations. In wholesale quantities, the gasoline price will now be $204 per liter, and the price for diesel will now be $193 per liter. The company said the price reductions became possible due to lower acquisition costs. The company said it is always cognizant of its role in the Guyana economy and continuously strives to ensure that quality petroleum products are provided at excellent prices. The company said its vast network of service stations will continue to ensure that the quality products are made available to their customers along the entire coastland and all the way to Latam. Back in February, the company also announced a price reduction. Well, 10 years after he was wrongfully dismissed from the Guyana Police Force, police officer Simon McBean has been reinstated by the Police Service Commission. McBean was a police superintendent when he was dismissed for traveling abroad to pursue a master's degree program without receiving authorization. The dismissal case made its way through the courts, and last year the appeal court unanimously ruled that the dismissal was wrong. The Police Service Commission took the matter back up recently, and the decision was made yesterday that he be reinstated with immediate effect. He will initially return to the rank of Superintendent of Police, but it is likely that promotions will be considered to move him up higher in the rank. McBean, who had moved overseas, is reportedly now back in Guyana and has indicated his willingness to return to the Guyana Police Force. In the courts, an unemployed youth from the South Ruimveldt area found himself before the magistrate today for allegedly stealing over $2.3 million in household and car accessories from his own cousin. 29-year-old Akeem Prince appeared in the courtroom of Magistrate Faith McGusty and denied the charges. According to the prosecution, between the 1st of June and the 25th of June this year at Sugarcane Drive, South Ruimveldt, Prince broke into the dwelling place of his relative Forbes Prince and stole several car accessories and household appliances that belonged to his cousin, Romario Prince. The prosecutor told the court that the accused was seen by other persons taking the items from the home. The items were never recovered. After listening to the prosecution's case, the magistrate remanded the man to jail until the 19th of July, when the case will continue. Across the Region is coming up next.
Falls, a trademark of China's Zhanghao Incorporated, located at Land of Cane in East Bank, Demerara, was incorporated in April of 2013 with over $10 billion Guyana dollars invested in a state-of-the-art 100,000-barrel fuel storage facility, a modern service station, an office complex, and a modern wharf that can berth international vessels. Having no association with any other fuel company, Falls imports its own fuel, which meets quality specifications, has all the legal permits, and is in compliance with international requirements. Its bulk facility can load 8 trucks simultaneously at a rate of 1,000 liters per minute, while the service station can service 12 cars at a time using computerized fuel pumps, which can facilitate the use of ATM cards. Through its professional team of mostly Guyanese, Falls wholesales and retails fuels to the public, including farmers and miners, and will continue to positively contribute to Guyana by providing quality products, service, and attractive prices. Try Falls today for all your fuel needs.
Diamonds are precious.
Diamonds are sought after.
Once again, you get to shine.
On June 28th at the District Lounge.
Diamonds are forever.
Come out and sparkle
With Guyana's #1 radio and club DJ.
as he celebrates another birth milestone at the Diamond Ball.
June 28th at the District Lounge.
Shine bright for just one night
Come out and shine bright like the diamond you are.
in the Diamond Ball.
Sponsored by
Thanks Beer,
GT Beer,
Integrated Security Services,
La Rose Boutique,
City Sky,
Fireside Grill and Chill.
HJTV and 94.1 Boom FM.
June 28th at the District Lounge.
Shine bright for just one night
At the Diamond Ball.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right, walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
Across the region right now, the Barbados government says it will do all that is humanly possible to locate 2 American visitors who went missing at sea on Monday after renting a jet ski to go on a ride. Prime Minister Mia Mottley said the police, the Coast Guard, and the regional security system have already been on the job since Monday evening. And in spite of the fact that the searches will normally last just 72 hours, she has given instructions for the searches to go on for another 72 hours. The authorities said the 2 visitors, Magdalena Devil and Oscar Suarez, rented a jet ski from an establishment in St. James, north in the island, and the Prime Minister said that she had been advised that an approach had been made to the U.S. government for additional support. The Prime Minister said she is satisfied that the country is doing all that is possible to find the 2 visitors. In Jamaica, the Jamaica Observer reports that an additional 44 foreigners living in Jamaica have been granted citizenship by the Passport, Immigration, and Citizenship Agency. They were presented with their certificates and other documents during the 4th swearing-in ceremony for candidates held in New Kingston. The group comprises 19 women and 17 men and 8 children from 17 countries, including Antigua and Barbuda, Australia, Canada, Cuba, Guyana, Haiti, Hong Kong, India, Nigeria, the Philippines, Russia, Trinidad and Tobago, Uganda, Ukraine, the United Kingdom, the United States of America, and Venezuela. The report said 9 of the recipients are descendants of Jamaica. 20 have been granted citizenship by virtue of being married to Jamaicans, 11 are from Commonwealth countries, and 1 individual has attained citizenship by naturalization, while 3 minors have been registered as citizens. And finally tonight, international news. The EU and the South American Economic Bloc Mercosur have clinched a huge trade deal after 20 years of negotiations. EU Commission Chief Jean-Claude Juncker said that it was the EU's biggest deal to date, and it came at a time of trade tensions between the US and China. Brazil's President Jair Bolsonaro said it was historic and one of the most important trade deals of all time. Mercosur consists of Argentina, Brazil, Uruguay, and Paraguay. Venezuela is also a member, but it was suspended in 2016 for failing to meet the group's basic standards. The deal aims to cut or remove trade tariffs, making imported products cheaper for consumers, while also boosting exports for companies on both sides. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley, reporting.